Hello YouTube viewers, Facebook family and friends. I want to welcome you to another edition of Joe's Politics 101. You know, the other day I made a post about Megyn Kelly going after the young lady that wrote Ashia Harris, who wrote the piece that Santa should become somebody different. You know, I've been reading a few things and I've listened to a few things on television concerning the whole thing. And what's, you know, her response and her way of trying to defend her statements about Santa Claus being a white, that Santa Claus is white, kind of struck me as still kind of, you know, racist, you know. So what I did was I went back, I went on YouTube, and I just went through a bunch of her, bunch of the clips that they posted on YouTube, and listened to a lot of her discussions with people and the way she tried to treat people, how she tried to bully people on her show, threatening to cut the mic and threatening to do all kind of stuff. And it just boils down to that if people don't agree with her, that she's not receptive to anything other than what she believes. Well, I think Megyn Kelly, you know, who is a 43-year-old person who was born in the 1970s, and I don't think she's a dummy because apparently she went to law school and, you know, she did, you know, has a good education. She's not a dummy, I don't assume. Now, sometimes the smartest people around or sometimes the dumbest people around, you know, if you know what I mean, you know, just get a glimpse of it. Now, she wants to say that her statements were tongue-in-cheek and that everybody else couldn't be humorous about it, is their fault. So she don't want to apologize for it, because an apology would pretty much say that she is wrong for making a statement that she stated, that what she said is basically wrong. You know, we all know as adults that we tell our children that lie every year from the time they're little old bitty babies until they get up to a point to where they're realizing that, you know, you guys are lying to me, so you better quit lying to me and tell me what you're going to buy me for Christmas. That's the basic instinct and the truth about the whole Santa Claus issue. That's the real deal. Maybe, and this is my attempt at a little bit of humor, you know, maybe we should just kick the whole Santa Claus BS up out of our lives and celebrate Christmas. Santa Claus ain't got nothing to do with Jesus being born. Does he? Or do? Does St. Nick have anything to do with that? You know, St. Nick is a creation that people have put together to make a fantasy for the children to be able to enjoy. Now, this is for Megyn Kelly's education. Number one, if you know the history of your country, the United States of America, if you will understand the history of your country, the United States of America, it has always been, and it is still trying to be, a country that depicts so-called white people who are European descendants with pale skin or skin of different hues, have always painted them as being the superior race of people in this country. You go back to the history books. From the day the United States became an independent nation, it has always been that white guy or that white woman that have been depicted on television as being, or in writing in the history books, as being the makers and the takers and the doers of the United States of America, when in fact this country was built on the backs of slavery, on the destruction of Indians, the Native Americans, you know. So when you try to think that you can make a humorous situation out of something like Santa Claus is white, when you absolutely say that he is white and only white, and you think some people's going to receive that as humorous, you need to back up and rethink your approach to how you look at things. We are not dummies out here in this world. We know what our country have been. We know what our country is trying to portray itself as now. We can see that in how white people, and I'm not saying this is all white people. I'm saying to you, Megyn Kelly, that I believe that your views and your opinion of society is that white is right and all others are wrong. You need to rethink that, because that's not the way it is. But we can see in how the politicians and many of the people in the United States have accepted and responded to our first Afro-American president. So when you say absolute, that Santa is a white man, that's not humorous. If you lived in this country and you know the history of this country, or if you read the proper books or accepted what has been told to you about the white race. Look at the different things on television that you see, such as Kristen Mingle. All these little dating sites that they have. Many of the commercials that Fox News run. Check the commercials out. Figure it out. It's not responsive to everybody. You might see 40 television commercials of all white people and maybe one of Afro-Americans. See, when I grew up in this country, there were no black people on television. There were no Hispanics except for Desi Arnaz on television. There were no people of color on television during the years that I was growing up. But in the 1970s, when you started coming along, after you were born, things began to change. And I don't think you like that change, because what you were taught at home is that white is right and all others are wrong. I want to thank you for viewing my YouTube post. God bless you. God bless America. Have a good day.